now I want to get into production company agreements. And for me, it's very important, this area, because I get a lot of production companies and I get a lot of artists who get deals from production companies. So there's a fair deal, and then there's the agreement from hell that no artist should sign, which I've seen many, many times, too often. The fair deal. A fair deal is you have to think about what a production company is. It's usually a producer and some guys who work for him, or a producer and a guy who made a fortune on Wall Street who wants to be in the music business. It's a guy with some talent, with access to his studio. Sometimes it's a former record company executive, but it's not a label. So we'll get into that for a second, but a fair deal would be, hey, I'm a production company, I got a studio, I got this guy with some money. We're going to make a record. We're going to make an EP, maybe a few singles, and then we're going to shop them. And you're going to give us 18 months to see if we can make you a deal. And then if we get an offer from Sony, Universal, and Warner, we're going to show it to you. You'll have a lawyer. You can negotiate it with us. And for all of our trouble, we're going to get 20 to 40%, or less, or maybe more. And that is all negotiable.
Is that 360 provision, 20 to 40%?
This is the fair deal.
That's the fair deal.
The fair deal is there's no 360. That's the fair deal. Now, let's talk about the deal from hell that no artist should sign. The production company acts like a major label and wants 6 albums. The production company doesn't want the artist to be able to approve any agreement that it makes. And worst of all, the production company wants 20 to 25% gross of everything that the artist makes in the business. It's horrible, but it comes across our desks all the time. And you've got to protect talent from signing this kind of thing.
And it depends on what side of the issue that you are, right? If you're representing the production company, yeah, you want to have multiple albums, because at the end of the day, you want to benefit from the artist's success. Now, I don't necessarily agree, if I was representing the production company, that an artist should be, have final approval over a deal I'm going to make for your services. That's not going to happen. I might give you consultation rights, and I've discussed it with your attorney, but I'm not going to give you the right to approve a deal. And yes, I want a percentage of the ancillary income. I want a part of the 360, but that's negotiable. I think something like 10% is fair. Maybe it gets reduced to 5% in the event they enter into a major label deal where the major record company is asking for a percentage of the ancillary income.
If a production company comes into me, I listen to their story, and then I say, do you want the fair deal or the unfair deal? And I always encourage them to take the fair deal, which on the 360 would be, okay, if we do something to earn it, we get money. So if we, production company, get a placement in a movie, then we get 50%. So make them earn it and be fair to the artist in limiting the number of albums to, say, 1 option period. But sometimes production company will say, look, we've been taking care of it. I've been taking care of this kid since he was 15, living at my house, feeding and sending him to school. He's like a son, but it's 5 years of my life invested in this kid, and I want a fair deal. And in that case, a fair deal, maybe the deal you were talking about.
Cool.
So it all depends on the circumstances. Production company masquerading as a label. So I want to get this off my chest. Real label, the difference between a real label and a skeletal production company is the real label has got staffers for marketing and publicity. They have staffers to pitch to commercial radio. And also, a real label has the clout to get you on commercial radio because they spend tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising. So the radio stations take the label's calls first. They've got video departments to make videos. They have relationships. Almost every act you see on Saturday Night Live, with a couple of exceptions, are label artists. They have relationships with the digital services to get you on the homepage of iTunes. And they have relationships with directors and music supervisors and producers to get your masters in movies and television. And they've got distribution, big box, and international internet. And most of all, a real label is a label that gives an artist some money up front so they can quit their day gig, okay? So that's the difference between a real label and a production company, and the difference between a nice production company masquerading as a label.